be formless, shapeless, like water. Now, you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. Now, water can flow, or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
Follow our Twitter account at Wow Show.
What up? It is Way of the Warrior. Eric O'Brien along with Ken Evans and Sean Dizay. UFC 148 right around the corner. Going to be July 4th weekend. And on the card, of course, you have Sonnen Silva 2. People are very excited about this. Also on the card, you have Tito Ortiz and Forrest Griffin 3. And Tito will be inducted to the UFC Hall of Fame before the fight. Big weekend of fights. Big week for our guest who joins us on the Subway Fresh Take Hotline. It is Tito Ortiz. Tito, how are you?
Doing awesome. How are you?
I am awesome. Congratulations, UFC Hall of Fame. You will be inducted at UFC 148. Long time coming for you, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. But I'm just thankful for my career. You know, I'm thankful for the things that I've done, for being a guy who's held the title at light heavyweight division for the longest time, being the most consecutive competitor in the UFC over 15 years. And there's not many fighters that have came too close. But to fight always the top 5 guys in the world, every one of my matches pretty much. I've had a long road, a tough road, but I've stayed alive. I stayed competitive. I've gone through major surgeries, and I've been able to bounce back and do the things at the levels that I never thought I could. And I'm very, very thankful for them.
And Tito, you've been on the show a couple times, so we're huge fans, and it is undeniable what you have done for the fan base of the UFC and what you've done for the sport as a whole. But what people may not know, because there's some separation between your title reign and, let's say, some modern title reigns, is you're the third longest in days holding a title. Not only do you have the record at light heavyweight, but you're the third total behind only Anderson Silva and GSP. So to me, when you look at stuff like that, it's almost like you should have been one of the first or second, not the 9th person in the Hall of Fame.
Well, you know, I have no control of that.
No, I know you don't have control over it. It surprises me that it's exciting that you're in it. I would have thought it would have been earlier.
Yeah, there's politics that come into that, too, of course. But you can't do nothing about it. Like I say, I'm just thankful to be a part of the UFC, and I've done the things that I've done. And for you to recognize that, I didn't even know that. That's amazing. I mean, I know I had the most title defenses in light heavyweight division, and I know I've been in the UFC longer than any other any other fighter in UFC history in consecutive fights. You know, I look at my fight history, and I'm very, very thankful. God has blessed me.
Yes, he has. Yeah, just so you know, Anderson Silva's around 2,000 days. GSP with the injury is about 1,600 days. Without it is about 1,500, and you are at 1,300. So it's an amazing run, and you have been an amazing athlete and an amazing ambassador for the sport. So this is going to be very exciting. Your final fight going to be against Forrest Griffin. What was it about this third bout between you two that you really wanted to do this?
Well, I think both fights were so close. They were so excited. The fans loved them. I thought I won both of them. He thought he won both of them. So let's make the third one the final one. You know, Forrest is a tough kid. He fights in the pocket. He puts on an exciting fight. He never runs away, and that's the type of fighter I like. And I think Forrest is a good guy. But for this fight on UFC 148, it's time for him to be the bad guy. It's time for me to come in and crush the bad guy.
Well,
I want to do it in a devastating manner. I want to say they don't need any judges for this fight because it's not going the whole fight.
Well, he's certainly playing the part of the bad guy because he said he's going to retire from life if you beat him at UFC 148, which I think is – I know it's part of the game, but knowing that you're going to the Hall of Fame and this is your last fight, mildly disrespectful in my mind.
Well, you better put on his retirement sheet. It's going to happen.
Other things going on. You've been tweeting all week, and I know it comes out today, but I'm surprised you still haven't seen it. Let's talk about Art of Rap. How excited are you to check this movie out?
Oh, man, I'm a huge fan of Ice-T and of everybody in general who's on there. I mean, I was able to just see little snippets that's on television. I can't wait to see it. I mean, he's giving back to something that wasn't supposed to be successful, and that's rap. So I kind of have something, kind of in common. This sport of mixed martial arts was never supposed to happen, and I pushed it to the next level, and I helped push it to the next level, and I can't wait to watch it.
Tito, now it's no secret that you've written a book, obviously. You've done a lot of amazing things, been on Celebrity Apprentice. But when you look at something like Art of Rap, is that something that interests you? Would you ever want to do a kind of long-form documentary about your career in the UFC and outside of the UFC and your family and all that sort of thing?
There will be. I probably have about a good, I'd say about 6 or 7 days of video through my 15 years. I've always videotaped almost all my fights, everything that I've ever felt, everything that I've ever gone through, the trials and tribulations. I mean, I even got on video of Dana calling me the next Michael Jordan of MMA, and you would never think Dana would ever say something like that to me.
No, you wouldn't.
I have so much stuff on video that there will be a time for this to happen for sure, and hopefully, by next year, something like this will come. I just look at it, and it's just so real to me. I really don't see it as, I don't see myself as a celebrity. I don't see myself as, one of the greatest UFC fighters. I mean, I see myself as someone who's worked really, really hard over the last 15 years to make this sport what it is today. And I think I paved the way for a lot of fighters of the future and to get to this point, I think.
You are certainly the formula, I would say. I mean, MMA, one of the major perks about MMA is the way that it treats the fans. But I think a lot of that comes out of guys like you who kind of paved the way and blazed the trail of how to treat the fans, because that's certainly been something that you have, regardless of what's going on in your life, you have dropped everything to make sure that the fans understand how much you appreciate their support in this sport.
Yeah, every single expo I'd ever been to, they either had to kick me out and told me, okay, Tito, you're going to stop, or I signed until the last person was there. And I've done this since 2000. I mean, I remember being in Mandalay Bay for the first time, UFC 33, and I was the world champion. The fight was over. I put myself into the back of the fight arena, and I sat there and signed autographs for 8 hours until the last person stood there. And a guy sat there and watched me and goes, Tito, I watched you this whole time, and every single person, you took your time with each person. And that's the way I am, man. I think that's what it's truly about. But once for the fans, I would just be just another fighter.
Now, I know that you're a warrior, so you're not looking past Forrest at all, but are you going to take some time after this fight? What's next for you in your next stage of life? Well,
I think it's just a chapter that's going to be turned in my life. To me, this is not really retirement. To me, this is just graduation. I'm going to something bigger and better. It seems like in the last 15 years, I got my master's in marketing and promotion through UFC because I worked so hard of doing these things and helping this brand be what it is today. And I've really, really worked hard to make it happen. I started my clothing company back in 1999, Punishment Athletics, and it's been very flourishing and growing very quick. And, of course, Punishment Nutrition. I've really picked apart all the supplement lines and got the best thing possible to push my body cardio-wise, strength, recovery, conditioning, everything I possibly can to be the greatest athlete that I've go through my career. Through the surgeries that I've had, I'm able to bounce back each and every time. I compete against the top guys in the world because of things that I've done, that I've really treated my body the right way. And, there's a business opportunity of a lot of things that I've done. But, I don't know, I think maybe just take a year off, enjoy my family, be a father, and just really work on my family and kind of watch my kids grow up for once. Because over the last 15 years, my oldest son, Jacob, was 10 years old now. I miss a little bit of his life because I worked so hard for their future. They don't have to worry about school anymore. Their money's, saved and put away. Now it's just about trying to teach them the respect values, teach them what hard work and dedication is, and just try to be a great father. Try to be everything my father wasn't.
One of the best in the biz, Tito Ortiz, is joining us. UFC 148, taking on Forrest Griffin, I should say, and follow you on Twitter, Tito Ortiz. Do you prefer Twitter over Facebook? I know you're on Facebook, but is Twitter the kind of thing that you're into? Because I know you're huge into Instagram.
Yeah, I do Instagram too, and that's Tito Ortiz 1999, and I do both. It's just an outlet, which is social media is great because the fans kind of get my feelings of each day. I have my ups and downs as everybody always do, but positive is something that I always try to stick to since last year, and it's helped me out a lot. It's kept me focused, it's kept me running, it's kept me going. I'm working hard each and every day, and I don't take anything for granted.
Always a pleasure to have you, Tito. Tito Ortiz at UFC 148 versus Forrest Griffin, getting inducted to the UFC Hall of Fame, only the 9th member. Tito Ortiz, always a pleasure, my friend. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll talk at you soon, and have a great Father's Day.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Tito Ortiz joining us. You can catch the entire interview if you missed any of it on our podcast page, on the Way of the Warrior Facebook page, or on Twitter. Just search WOW Show. When we come back, MMA news. It's Way of the Warrior, your MMA show.